Today I'm going to walk through how I created this motion graphics piece using Cavalry. It's essentially these different characters that have this falling card effect. To start off, I just want to show a little bit of the inspiration behind this. On Instagram, there's a motion graphic designer called Kill Danger. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name. His username is kill.d.m, and he has an amazing collection of motion graphic pieces. And the one I came across that sparked this was this one right here, and I just love this treatment, and I wanted to see if it was possible to recreate in Cavalry. Starting off back in Cavalry, let's do a new composition. I'm going to open that one up, and let's go to composition settings, and we'll do a width of 1080 and a height of 1350. Let's just make the background white. Actually, I might add a transparency on there. Okay, first thing we want to do is add our text layer. So just going to pick the letter H. We'll center the alignment and vertically aligned. Let's up the scale a bit. And I'm going to go to a black weight and change this color to black. All right, next let's add our rectangle. Just going to frame this, eye this up. And what we want to do now is actually put the text layer within the rectangle shape. All right. And now when I double click the rectangle, let's add one of the colors from my palette. And also we want to enable the stroke. I'm going to put the width to 2 pixels. All right, let's center up, double click the H and make sure that's centered properly. And I want to take a little bit of the top and bottom padding off of this rectangle. Okay, pretty close. Great. All right, so now we have our shape, rectangle shape, and we're gonna throw that in a duplicator. So I'm gonna go to the top toolbar here and click the Create a Duplicator. And that puts it into the grid format distribution. So we wanna change that to point, so they're all stacked on a single point. Let's up the count to, let's just say 50. And I'm gonna drag our layer within the duplicator. I thought I renamed that, but let's do it again. Let's do rectangle letter. Okay. All right, so now we need to animate the Y position of each of these cards. So we're gonna go to shape position, right click, add behavior, and we're gonna go down to value blend Y. All right, so let's double click that. And our first is at 0. The second, we're just gonna go negative. We wanna have it off of the viewport, which is around, let's just say minus 850 pixels. And then let's add a fall off to animate this. So right click, add fall off, and we're gonna go with the range fall off option. All right, double click into the range fall off. The mode, we want this to be transitions. And here, if I use the completion slider, you'll see that it's transitioning from the first to the second, and it's getting kind of close. Now, the issue here is the order of the cards falling. I want the topmost cards to fall first, not the ones behind. So that's an easy fix by using the graph. Click on that, open up the graph, and I'm gonna click the topmost S-curve, and then go to flip it horizontally. All right, and that gives us the proper order. So if I go back to the extra start is 100% and go in reverse, that's pretty close to what we want. So to animate this now, it's just a simple keyframe animation. So I'm gonna click keyframe 1 there. Let's just go to frame 100 and drag that down to 0 and click play. All right, getting there. Next, we want to add some of the randomization of the cards. So let's go back to our 0 frame, double click on duplicator, shape rotation, right click, add behavior. And again, we're gonna use the value blend. All right, let's double click the value blend shape rotation. And for the first value, 0, second value, let's right click and add random. All right, let's double click the random and let's go minimum -25, maximum 25. Now, same thing with the value blend on the Y. We want to add the fall off to that treatment so that it doesn't start with the rotation applied. So that's an easy fix here where I double clicked on the value blend to shape rotation, clicked on fall off, and now I'm going to sync the fall off we already have to this one as well. And here you could see that it's at 0. And now as these start to fall, they have a bit of that randomness to them. I do think that it's animating pretty quickly. So let's just change the keyframe from 100. Let's just drag this out a little bit to 170. All right, it's a bit slower, getting pretty close. Let's clean up our file. So I'm gonna move the order of these. So let's do the randomize is with the rotation. So put it in there, and then we'll drag value blend into the duplicator. We'll grab the other one into the duplicator and also the range fall off. So all of them are neatly tucked into our duplicator layer. Okay, now we just need to add the color background. So if we go over to this color palette on the right, click on the ellipse, I can do create array from palette, which adds it to my layer order here. And then I just have to connect that node to the rectangle letter fill color. And that applies all the different colors. And it's getting us pretty close. Now, what I did to spell out the word, I essentially just duplicated the duplicator. So if we just call this duplicator 1, I can duplicate that one, call it 2, and we can just move it over. So I'll just grab the X position, bring it over here, and open that one up. And let's just change the H to an I, so it says hi. All right, pretty good. Now, obviously, it's not great that they're both doing the same exact treatment. So one way to customize this a little bit is on the second duplicator, we can change the count. So let's go to that. Instead of 50, let's do 46. So now it kind of staggers the colors as well. And again, if we want to change a little bit more of the rotation as well, let's go to the range fall off and the graph, and we can just play with some of the values here, which changes how it animates down and in. So the one on the right's a little faster. All right, we can group both of these and then center them up however we like. And there we go. Hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions, but I thought it was a really cool animation, and I might try to recreate some more of Keel's animations over time, but thanks for watching.